Let's see Paul Allen's card.
He's not in there.
Why would he be in his office at 3 o'clock? Where is he? Conference room.
Okay, I believe that is an L.
It is, in fact, an L.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
Hello. Let's try to do a quick little update here. War Campaign is the only stream I see right now that's right in the middle of what's left here of this Ottawa. They call it an insurgency. They call it a protest. They call it a siege. Let's go with siege first. So what I've got is beleaguered Ottawans are losing faith in their government. Much like I'm losing faith in my ability to maintain a remote control in my possession. Wait a second. It's in my pocket. Who'd ever think that you walk around with a remote control in your pocket? I mean, idiot like I would. So anyway, they want, this is it, the full headline from the Washington Post. Beleaguered Ottawans losing faith and leaders want siege to end. Now, this is going to be the format I'm doing tonight, so hopefully you like it. If you don't like it, I apologize. But we're going to keep the party going here online or on the feed while I read some of these articles here. Try to keep everybody up to date what's happening. I really don't know. I'll tell you, honest to goodness, I've had a hell of a life. I've had some major family reconstruction issues, and it involves hospitals and rehab facilities and all this PT and OT and stuff like that. And it's just absolutely sucks. So my schedule doesn't exist. That's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I love you guys. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe. And as with everything, don't forget to subscribe to your favorite YouTubers. If you've got a YouTube channel, put it in the chat. Advertise for yourself. I don't mind. A rising tide. All ships rise with a rising tide. So, back to the article. For several weeks, she has watched aghast. Whoever she is. Oh, wait, hold on. Lindy Williams has had enough. Lindy is aghast at demonstrators protesting vaccine mandates, and the Trudeau government have rolled their vehicles into the normally quiet Canadian capital and stayed put, creating gridlock on downtown thoroughfares and unnerving locals, all with apparent impunity. Unnerving locals. I mean, like, locals are they're unnerved because of a diesel truck. Oh my God! Please, you don't become a meme, people. Never become a meme. On a frigid Sunday, Williams, 73, because it's so important that we know her age. Has nothing to do with any of this stuff. Please, AP, quit acting like quit putting people's age on there. It's such a pet peeve of mine. And hundreds of other Ottawans set out to do something about what their police chief has called the siege of their city, taking to a major intersection to put their bodies in front of dozens of vehicles seeking to join the self-styled Freedom Convoy downtown. Here's the problem with Ottawa. Actually, this is not a problem. This is a perfect prime example of why Washington, D.C. is not a state. Okay? Washington, D.C. is the capital city. It is under control of the United States Congress. Congress has relented its power to the people that live there because Congress is stupid. They ought to take back the power. They ought to dissolve the Washington, D.C. government, and they ought to control it. It used to be the president of the United States appointed the mayor of Washington, D.C. That's the way it should go back to. However, what you see in Ottawa is exactly why you don't want D.C. to be a sovereign city or state or anything like that. Because these people, they live in Ottawa. And they just also, by chance, happen to be the capital. So it's like it's a duality of such. Let's see here. Let's see. I came out because I object to my city being occupied, the retired teacher told the Washington Post. Jeez. As the demonstrators were here grind into a third week, locals say they feel abandoned and helpless. They're also furious about the disruption. Hold on, if they're abandoned and helpless, are they starving? Is food still able to get in? Demonstrators here grind into the third week. Locals say they feel abandoned and helpless. They're also furious about the disruption and what they describe as an insufficient response by police and government officials. On Monday, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau Castro invoked the country's Emergencies Act. So Monday, that's today. The country has an Emergencies Act. The law, approved in 1988 but never before used, allows the Canadian federal government to prohibit public assemblies and remove people and property from prohibited spaces. I mean, it took them this long to have to find that law. You know, that's what's so funny. In the United States, you have a law that's never been used. As soon as you try to use it and you infringe on people's normal rights, you'd have lawsuits out the wazoo. Oh, excuse me. These Ottawans are taking matters in their own hands, developing buddy systems so no one has to be alone when running errands. Seeking injunctions to silence the near constant drone of the air horns and staging protests to counter the convoy. They are developing buddy systems. This is it's like fortune telling. This is me. I can read the tea leaves, okay? And this buddy system, that's how you'll stay safe in the future. In a future without any weapons or anything. Watch them. They're going to push for like more gun control now in Canada because of this. Not because they haven't used the gun, but because they could have used guns. Just imagine if they had guns. I mean, that's so silly. This whole thing's silly. A buddy system. I'm watching people walk around. I mean, we're watching it right now. We're watching a dude walking around the streets. Do you see anything? Ottawa is so much safer than Washington, D.C. is right now. It's unbelievable. Tweet that out. If you hear this and you are on Twitter, tweet out that Ottawa has less crime than Washington, D.C. does right now, and they're under siege. Jeez. These Ottawans are taking matters in their own hands, developing buddies. Okay, I read that. The past couple of weeks have been really intense. Brian Latour said at the counter protest on Sunday. Counter protests are the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, you want to get in a fight. But seeing all these people out, seeing my community out, I feel much more inspired than I did 2 weeks ago. And now, as I say, the counter protests are an indication of eroding faith in public institutions. Regina Bateson, assistant professor of public and international affairs at the University of Ottawa, so the authorities and officials at all levels of government have shown a real lack of leadership and that trust has evaporated. Has it? I mean, do you really know? Is there a way to prove that trust has evaporated? I mean, there's no trust before. These people banned you from going into Walmart. I think there was a serious erosion of trust over the first week when the police insisted for days that this was a peaceful protest happening downtown. She said, trust is already so far gone. Can you go below zero? Can you go into the negative? I don't know. You're the one talking about trust. You're the one who's supposed to be telling us. You're a professor. Okay? If you're being interviewed and you're a professor, you're supposed to give answers. The convoy began as a protest of U.S. and Canadian rules. It's the U.S.'s fault. It's the U.S.'s fault because the part of Ottawa that's in the U.S. Required cross-border truckers be fully vaccinated against the coronavirus, and has since snowballed into a movement against all pandemic-related public health restrictions, which are imposed mostly by the provinces and Trudeau. Virtually unchallenged, the demonstrators have transformed Wellington Street. This is a minority of people. And by the way, about every what they call their First Nationers that they haven't genocided yet are for this the protest here. I love this fire. Let's see here. In one hotel this weekend, a woman entered with a red jerry can, dismissing the pleas of a hotel employee who told her it was prohibited. It's empty, the woman replied as the elevator door closed. The next morning, a guest who was a transplant patient pleaded with staff to do more to enforce the province's mask mandates. Please think about me, the one special snowflake. Look, I know transplant patients. It's amazing they can do that. But they've never complained about this stuff. So they say they speak for freedom, but apparently only freedom for themselves. Consultant Caroline told the Post at the counter protest as rage against the machines take the power back boomed. Not freedom for the residents who live here and are not only being inconvenienced but harassed and bullied. Law enforcement and officials have described the crisis in Ottawa as a siege and an occupation, but critics say the response has been woefully inadequate and slow. On day 16, no one wants to hear excuses from politicians. Catherine McKenna, they don't have her age, a former cabinet minister in Trudeau's government who quit politics last year. She didn't quit politics. She left for something better, or her party lost. Why it's hard or how it's someone else's jurisdiction, just get your act together now. More than a week after the convoy rolled into Ottawa, the Trudeau government set up a trilateral table to address the crisis, inviting officials from the local, provincial, and federal levels. But it became more of a bilateral table. The province did not dispatch representatives. It was set up as a trilateral table, but it became a bilateral table. Have you ever heard of such in a paragraph before in your life? I mean, these people, these are the black tie cocktail party people. Ottawa police chief, who has faced intense criticism for his handlings of the crisis, has appealed repeatedly for more resources, saying the officers are badly outnumbered and exhausted. Hundreds of additional officers have been sent to Ottawa, but not as many as requested. Trudeau said last week that he didn't accept the contention that the city of Ottawa has exhausted its tools and resources. Please help us. We can't do it anymore. I don't believe you, says Trudeau. I mean, he has Canada, Justin Trudeau. Nobody takes that guy serious. My gosh. Who counts your votes? That didn't quiet the criticism from the federal government when Bill Blair, Canada's Minister of Emergency Preparedness and a former Toronto police chief, like that makes him anything special, a former Toronto police chief, made the rounds on talk shows on Sunday. He characterized the Ottawa police response as inexplicable. I cannot think of a more horrendous way to undermine the faith and trust in our public institutions and our law enforcement institutions. Christian Lepchart, a political scientist at the Royal Military College of Canada, said of Blair's comments, the fury is pervasive. Carol McQueen, a former ambassador to Tunisia and Burkina Faso. I don't know where either of those places are. I didn't know Burkina Faso was a place. But this chick, Carol McQueen, was an ambassador. Why the fuck does Canada need ambassadors in Burkina Faso? I mean, these guys are idiots. They're going to burn their hands. Anyway. Where'd that go? I lost it. Oh, she said in a tweet, oh boy, you know they're serious when they tweet, that she has lived in many fragile states in which public institutions have no real power or authority. Oh, where? Where do public institutions have no real power or authority? I mean, that's supposed to be the United States, but we're in a dictatorship, basically, compared to what we originally were. You know, we have more laws. We have less freedom now than we did when the British ruled us. She never thought it. She lived in many fragile states in which public institutions have no real power. Never thought it would be true of Canada. She never thought Canada would not be an institution of real power of authority. I think the police have really failed here, Latour, the counter-protester said. Oh, wait, Latour is not McQueen. Oh, well, I still like that fake voice. I think it's obvious to anyone if these people were Black Lives Matter or Indigenous protesters, the response would have been different. What? Okay, are you trying to say that if it was Black Lives Matter, that they would have been pushed out, they'd have been arrested? Right? Is that what you're trying to say? Because this is what you're saying. I think it's obvious to anyone. Now, you're virtue signaling. Okay, you're virtue signaling. I bet you are so white, your sheets look dark compared to you. But yet you want to sit here and you want to be like, oh, if this were Black Lives Matter, I bet you have a black friend. You're going to say that. I bet you, to show how real you are, you carry some hot sauce in your purse. Jeez, man. I'm so sick and tired of virtue signalers. I mean, just be real. Quit being phony. Let's see here. Third chance to go home. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait. I missed this because this is really cool. Sunday's counter-protest was a rare instance of public pushback over the convoy. Residents blocked dozens of convoy vehicles for much of the day. I mean, what'd you do? You blocked them in? That's stupid. Wherever you block them, they're blocking the place there. I mean, that's dumb. Why would you block them? You can't be a counter-protester against the blockade by blocking people. Held signs with pointed messages. They held signs with pointed messages. I've never heard the term pointed messages in my life, including go home. You go home. You just go home, silly. Go home. Truck off. I bet it's the person who put truck off. They had that little Weasley smile, like, you know, that associates with that. That they snarl. It's the smile wrinkles their nose up. Truck off, and they wrote that like on one poster board, and they went and showed 100 people. Look what I have. Truck off. And then you see something like me be like, how many of those did you make? Well, just this one. Well, you better go get your crayons there, Charlie Brown, and go make some more, because that's not enough for everybody. Oh, wait, there is nobody. And I love this. Leave our city, squatters. So now I dare say that squatters is you're saying that against homeless people. Now you're picking on the homeless. Oh man, these truckers are, I mean, if I saw that, I have no home to go to. There a chance to go home, and whose streets? Our streets. Oh my gosh. That is the Black Lives Matter chant, you dummies. Vehicles passing by beep their horns. I thought they were blocked. Hang the Canadian flag upside down? That's not very patriotic, one counter protester said through a bullhorn. Well, you showed them, didn't you? That's not very patriotic, holding the flag upside down. You know what? Get bent, okay? Don't tell me what patriotic is. I mean, you know what? Calling the law on your neighbors is the most unpatriotic thing you could ever do. Asking for government help instead of trying to help yourself is the most unpatriotic thing you could ever do. I mean, my gosh. By the way, I have my new theory. It's not a theory. This is fact, okay? So people who are assholes, not the cool kind like me, but like the kind that like write truck off on poster board, they're idiots. I mean that sincerely. Like they are imbeciles. They do not qualify. They do not have a 70 IQ. They are threatened because they know they're not the smartest person in the room, and they want to be, and they pretend they are, or they've projected themselves to be smarter than they actually are, and they're terrified. It's a assholism is a protection response. Oh well. All right. Shame, shame. The rest of the crowd yelled in response. Oh my gosh, oh yes. The truck drivers. Hey Leroy. They're saying shame, shame on us. What's that, Bubba? They're saying shame, shame on us. But maybe they got some there. I think I'm just gonna pick up my truck and I'm just gonna head on out of here. I don't want to be shamed. Jeez. I mean, jeez. Okay. As Holmes, a 10th grader. A 10th grader. Oh, these people always have the best opinions. 10th graders. 10th graders are just praying to God they have a date to prom in 2 years. Said the convoy has split her high school, with some students walking out to show support for it. Let me tell you what, if there was any kind of walkout in my high school, I supported it. I mean, hey, we're going to walk out for the indigenous field mouse. Okay, cool. Let's walk out. I'm out of here. We're going to do a walkout for space aliens from Galaxy 16. Cool. Let's walk out, man. Just not feeling good today. Gotta go home. It's okay to protest. No one is having a problem with all of that at all. The 6-7-year-old. We've all protested. Oh, jeez. At one time or another. But the fact is that they have taken over our city. There's no recourse. These people are all snobs. Sarah McLeod, a former lieutenant commander in the Royal Canadian Navy. Holy shit. Canada has a navy? Did y'all know Canada has a navy? What do they do in the Navy in Canada? I mean, really? Said her family in Nova Scotia is sickened by what's happening and physically repulsed watching the news. I watch the news, I start going, because I'm physically repulsed. Oh, jeez. As an ex-military person, what really hurts me the most is that it feels like there has been a loss of trust between the people and the police. Well, you know what? Maybe the police said, hey, these people are our neighbors. These people are our friends. These are people we see every day. They're our teachers. They are butchers. They're our garbage collectors. I mean, we follow orders. Maybe sometimes we need to say, are these orders good? It's been oppressive to have this constant threat of violence in the air and not have the police do anything about it. Get a firearm. Protect yourself. Oh, wait, Canada. And this is the most cool thing Canada's ever done is this parking lot they've created up there. The consequences, she said, will be long-lasting. When an organization like the police breaks the bond of trust, they are all about trust. Trust must be like a special word for Canada. That it has with the public, McLeod said. It's going to take generations to get that trust back. Yeah, you know what? I'm never going to trust any of these jabrones again when they start saying something about, the Chi-Coms and what they're doing. All right, so there you got that one. The Freedom Convoy is wrecking the emotional toll of beleaguered Ottawans. Let's see here. Hang on a second. I'm going to check my StreamYard. I've checked. I do have some comments. All right. Hey, Jules. Jules, I'm having a good time goofing off on people. You sound the person who's still bitter about the girl that rejected him before a dance in grade school, says Marcus Ivan. Or Marcos. Marcos. It's not me. It is the people in this article. They're the ones who are bitter about the girl that rejected them for a dance in grade school. And by the way, dance is the wrong verb. You want to dance? Wrong verb. Let's see here. Kiss. Justin Trudeau needs to just start wearing the 50 style green fatigues and grow his beard. You know, the sad thing is, I don't think he could grow a beard. I don't think he could. Oh my gosh, that guy would have that same thing over trimmed. What's it? He'd have it all looking all I don't know, sassy. All right, I'm gonna go find some more news here. Fact check. Claim that Ottawa police aren't subject to Canada's vaccine mandate, cites outdates guidelines. This is 9 hours ago from USA Today. Claim that Ottawa police aren't subject to Canada's vaccine mandates, cites outdated guidelines. Oh, jeez. The claim Ottawa police are not subject to the vaccine mandates almost 2 weeks after Freedom Convoy truckers arrived in Ottawa to protest recent Canadian government vaccine requirements for cross-border truckers. Local officials are trying to put an end to the blockade, but social media users are using police of hypocrisy. Let's see here. I love it. I always love these articles that are like, they start off something and then all they do is they just start citing tweets. So this time we got Instagram. Ottawa police not subject to vaccine mandate, but truckers they're arresting are. Reads text overlaid on image post on Instagram. The post, which garnered over 5,000 likes within 2 days. Oh my gosh. Kim Kardashian shows her fat butt and gets 500,000 likes in one day. It's one of several versions online claiming Ottawa police officers don't have to follow the government's COVID-19 vaccination mandate. The user who posted the Instagram image at the Post Millennial also has a website where it published an article elaborating on the claim. Ottawa police officers are given the option to undergo daily rapid COVID tests if they choose not to get vaccinated, the Post says. It cites an article by CTV News, a Canadian broadcasting network. But the article is old news dating to October 2021. Oh my gosh. Old news. It's 3 months old. I mean, Currently, the Ottawa Police Force requires all of its officers to be vaccinated against. Okay, so what from October 21st? When did they start having to be uh, vaccinated? CTV News reports on the 26th, the Ottawa Police Service wouldn't require officers to get vaccinated against COVID-19 unless the time was mandatory for all federal city workers. Unvaccinated officers, however, were required to get tested with a rapid antigen test every 3 days to remain on the force. On October 29th, 3 days after the initial policy announcement, the police department announced vaccinations would be mandatory for all officers starting in 2022. Wow. Auto Police Service spokesman Paramjit Singh confirmed an email. He emailed me. He emailed me. I haven't used email in probably 2 years. I mean, email's like Facebook. It's the most antiquated thing in the world. I think of email, I think about Hunter Biden. I'm like, I'm not writing anything down. You people are gonna steal my stuff and change stuff. Like, honestly, instead of texting somebody, I'd rather tweet them. I'd rather let everybody read what I'm gonna say. Let's see here. The deadline for vaccination was set for January 31st. The new policy was about providing a safe, effective, blah, blah, blah. About 95% of the force was fully vaccinated as of January 10th. As of February 11th, fewer than 10 officers and 10 civilians on the force have been put on unpaid leave of absence for not meeting the vaccination requirements. Singh said only officers who haven't received at least one dose have been put on leave without pay. Officers with at least one dose are still working. That's so weird, man. They're pushing that one dose. Just get one. Just one hit. Just one little taste of it. Our rating, USA Today. I love USA Today is they every time they get a chance to, they are the fact checkers. Our rating, false. Based on our research, we rate false to claim that Ottawa police are not subject to the. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Not according to anything. I mean, it's the spokesman for the Ottawa Police says on the 31st they have to be whatever that is, vaccinated. When is this article? 10 hours ago. The guy posted on Instagram on February 8th, a week after the mandatory timeline. I mean, the guy's off by like a few days. And USA Today picks up on it a week later. It says, our decision, it's fake. Let's see here. This is amazing, though. Look at this. I mean, this looks like, you ever see those old pictures, like 1929-ish, or it's like early Freedom Soup. We've got this, Go Canada. This is like a soup line. This is a soup kitchen from like 1930s. What is Prohibition stuck in my head? Depression era. Oh man. Okay. Watch live. Trudeau speaks of protest. Key U.S. Canada Bridge. Okay, this will be a good one. Ottawa police dealing with aggressive illegal behavior among anti-vaccine protesters, according to ABC News. Authorities also cracked down on protesters near the Ambassador Bridge. Like, I don't know where Ambassador Bridge is. I don't know where any of this stuff is. This is like 2 days ago. Police in Canada's capital are upping their response to protesters after more than 4,000 anti-vaccine demonstrators gathered downtown throughout Saturday, with many exhibiting aggressive illegal behavior. The Ottawa police said That's aggressive. What's illegal behavior? That's illegal behavior. That's illegal behavior. What's illegal behavior? The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Ontario Provincial, I can't say that word, provincial police and Ottawa Police Service said they are joining forces to set up a command center to respond to the current situation in our city. In all these pictures and stuff, I've yet to see a cop. The Enhanced Integrated Command Center. I mean, how long has someone been waiting to use that word? Enhanced Integrated Command Center. I mean, that sounds like something out of Team America. Is in response to the significant influx of demonstrators into the Ottawa area. The Ottawa Police Service said in a statement, "We have an enhanced command center." The news comes amid a volatile day near the U.S.-Canada border where thousands of semi-truck drivers have been protesting vaccine mandates for weeks. Several hundred protesters planted themselves about 100 feet from the foot of the entry to the Ambassador Bridge over the U.S.-Canadian border on Saturday, even as all the trucks left the scene throughout the day in the face of police crackdown. Canadian police, I mean, just take off running to America. Right? Police dressed in riot gear, along with law enforcement vehicles, had lined up on all sides of the protest in order to box them in. It's Boxing Day in Canada. The Associated Press. So you still can't go across if the bridge is blocked with cops. So the protesters are still winning. This comes after a judge on Friday ordered protesters to end their blockade, which disrupted the flow of goods between the two countries, according to the Associated Press. The auto industry on both sides of the border, for instance, has been forced to roll back production. You already can't find a car in this country. We urge all demonstrators to act lawfully and peacefully. Commuters are still being asked to avoid the areas affected by the demonstrations at this time. We are providing a notice that anyone blocking streets or assisting others in the blocking of streets may be committing a criminal offense and must immediately cease further unlawful activity, or you may face charges. You could be arrested if you are a party to the offense or assisting others in the direct or indirect commission of this offense. Wow, that's a lot of mays. Charges and or convictions related to the unlawful activity associated with the demonstration may lead to denial and crossing the U.S. border. So if you're an American citizen and you get stuck in Canada, I mean, dude, you got to escape, right? I mean, surely you can figure out how to cross that border. I mean, I got a feeling like the Canadian border is going to be the easiest thing in the world to cross. Like the Mexican border, man, I'm going to get knifed before I get, I'm going to get knifed, die of dehydration, and eaten by the chupacabras before I get anywhere near the U.S. border. Here we go. New York Governor Kathy Hochul. How was that? Why did I stutter on that? Hochul visited an interagency command center in Buffalo to assess the situation. We are ready to address any potential travel and commerce disruptions and also ensure we can protect everyone's right to peaceful protest, she said in a statement. Now, here's the thing. They're not doing disruptions if they're not carrying, goods. In Ottawa, the police made 26 arrests Saturday in relation to criminal charges at ongoing anti-vaccine mandate protests, and they have a plan to end this unlawful occupation and await the necessary reinforcements to do so, the Ottawa police said in a statement. Overnight, demonstrators exhibited aggressive behavior towards law enforcement, including refusing to follow directions. I'm sorry. I can't read this without thinking about South Park and like how they have Canadians like, hey, yo. Their little heads bop. I'm not your buddy, pal. How do they do that? I can't do accents. So you just have to pretend. You have to have a vivid imagination to find anything I say funny. Overnight, demonstrators exhibited aggressive behavior towards police, like not following directions, overwhelming officers, and otherwise subverting enforcement efforts. All available officers were deployed last night. We continue to monitor events across the province and adjust plans locally. 2 additional public intoxication arrests were made, police said. And that's how they end this article. 2 additional public intoxication arrests were made. Oh, geez. So what is this one? What article is this? Aggressive illegal behavior. Golly. I mean, it's just silly. All this is silly. Oh, man. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's that much going on down there anymore. How many days is this? 18? Again, there's like, what do they say, 4,001, and then like the other was like 5,000. Oh, yeah, I forgot this. Hang on, at. All right, let's see here. I mean, I'm really surprised at like the on that Peterbilt right there. Like that's the keeps the engine warmer. Whatever that is, that screen. I'm surprised because of the cutout of the screen. They're not trying to say it's Nazi markings or something like that. I don't even know if I can say that, to tell you the truth. Ignore that I said that. Pay no attention to the man behind the mic. All right, so here, I'll do one more of these real quick if I can get through it without laughing. Now I'm into Ottawa hockey. I kid you not. Okay, I think this is an aggregate of oh, this is crazy. See if I can make it through this one. So this is again Canadian leader Justin Trudeau invokes emergency powers to end disruptive protests. I wonder what the emergency powers are, what that means. Canadians might be on the verge of losing some rights. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau Castro on Monday invoked emergency powers to disband the truckers and other demonstrators who have clogged streets of Canada. In invoking Canada's Emergency Act, which gives the federal government broad powers to restore order. Hey, order! Order over there! Trudeau ruled out using the military and said the action would be limited in time and targeted to the trouble spots. Yeah, it's going to be 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks is all they need the emergency powers for. It's no longer a lawful protest at a disagreement over government policy. It is now an illegal occupation. It's time for people to go home, said Trudeau, whose government has been criticized for being slow and not forceful enough in responding to the crisis. In addition to threatening to tow away the truckers' rigs, the government outlined plans to freeze their personal and corporate bank accounts and suspend the insurance of their vehicles. What? They're going to freeze their bank accounts and suspend their insurance? Okay, like, do you realize how reckless that is? And one, if you're going to freeze their assets, dude, you just made this an all cash economy. You made this all a Bitcoin economy. As soon as you see that, dude, wow. Consider yourselves warned. Send your rigs home, said Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland. Okay, who is Chrystia Freeland? We gotta check this person out. I don't know why. It's just the way the name is spelled is so weird to me. But I feel like we need to see what this person looks like. Oh my gosh. It is the oh. She looks like a shape-shifting demon. You ever see Hell on Wheels, the Swede? That guy's in a lot of stuff. He's in I think he's in Homelander now. But yeah, she looks like the Swede from Hell on Wheels. Oh, gross. Just gross. Okay, the Deputy Prime Minister doubles as the Finance Minister and added the government would target crowdfunding sites that are being used to support the illegal blockades. Jeez. In a related development earlier Monday, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police said it arrested 11 people at the blockaded border crossing somewhere in Alberta, opposite Montana, after learning of a cache of guns and ammunition. What in the world does that have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with anything. And the next paragraph says, police said a small group within the protest was said to have a willingness to use force against the police if any attempts were made to disrupt the blockade. Authorities seized long guns, handguns, body armor, and a large quantity of ammunition. That doesn't sound like it's connected, though. That sounds made up. It honestly, goodness, sounds made up. The protest in Ottawa, now in its third week, was spurred on similar movements in other parts of the country that have blockaded the various U.S.-Canadian border crossings. Most prominent among them was the critical Ambassador Bridge connecting Windsor, Ontario to Detroit, which was under a nearly week-long siege that disrupted auto production in both countries. The trucker-led Freedom Convoy has finally disbanded over the weekend after a judge on Friday ordered the blockade. I mean, really, that's what it says. That trucker-led Freedom Convoy was disbanded over the weekend after a judge on Friday ordered the blockade. Period. Where's this from? USA Today. I mean, geez, that's just awful. Ontario Premier Doug Ford. So the decision was not a result of the protests, but rather because it is safe to do so. Doug Ford. Yeah, you think he's related to Ford Motor Company? Oh, jeez. Nobody wore a mask at the Super Bowl. It's weird how that just all ended all at once, right? All right, so anyway, that's it. That's the latest news on Ontario. The stream, guys, this guy's just walking around. This dude's got some serious steps in today. And other than that, that's it, y'all. I'm going to go to bed. Big day tomorrow. Big day today. I'm tired of big days. I'm tired of them. So don't forget to subscribe. Give my love to your loved ones. Happy Valentine's Day. Remember, this is one of the last nights of the year, or excuse me. Remember, Valentine's is a 12-hour long night. That's right. It is dark for 12 hours. So make the most of it. And if it's cold outside, make it warm inside, if you know what I'm saying. Till next time, y'all. Godspeed. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And may the force be with you.